Hello, Title Tribe. Welcome back to Toilets Titles. Hey, this is a special episode we're going to throw into the Frankenstank playlist. I'm also going to drop this for you guys in the Frank chat, but I want to break down how the brackets are going to work in my fantasy league because since it's not like a traditional tournament, you can't really set it up and do it very easily in a traditional way. So you gotta kind of get creative with it, and so just like everything else with Frankenstank, it's not just cut and dry. It's not exactly black and white. So I'm gonna break down how it looks on my fantasy league and show you kind of what you're looking for in future weeks as well as we go along. George, I see you in the green room. You can hop on in if you wanna tell everybody how the playoff bracket works. I know you're just trying to get even with me because I just tried to throw you off on your short. But all right, so here's how it's going to work with the playoffs. Get the full screen layout here. Okay, so if you're on my fantasy league, and unfortunately, guys, I never use my phone. I just refuse to use my phone for my fantasy league. I know you never want to use the apps for my fantasy league. Point blank, period. Some people will tell you that some of the apps are fine, but it's extremely rare that I found anybody that actually thinks that or has actually been able to do everything that they need to do on the app. And if they think they do, it's because they don't realize what all else they can do by going to the website. If you have to use your phone, go to the website in your web browser on your phone. Don't use the app. But I highly suggest you use a laptop or computer for this. But I use my laptop no matter what, and I go to the website. If you're on the homepage and you scroll down all the way at the bottom, you'll see the brackets that are up there now. The first bracket you're going to see says main playoffs. This technically is going to be the main playoffs after we get it down to the field of 8. And you'll see that it says right here that we are at the top left of the bracket here, above where it says number 5 seed. You see where it says week 15. Well, obviously, we have week 14 starting tomorrow night in Frank. Okay. And I'm going to get to that in just a second. But once we get it down to the final 8, I will have the teams listed in here. And go from there. So this one's gonna remain blank until we get to that point. Now, below that it says main playoff first round only seeds 1 through 16. Okay. The first round is not head to head, but you're gonna see this bracket on here that has all the seeds 1 through 16, and it's gonna look like it's head to head. And if you scroll on down, past the Patreon one, which I'll get to that in a minute, you're going to go down to another one that says main playoff first round only. This one seeds 17 through 32. Okay, now we know if I go back up to this one, we know that seed 1, Pennywise, and seed 2, Swamp Gator, have a first round bye. So they're going to be in up here in the main bracket no matter what. Okay. So you can even forget about them. Here's the thing, though. I cannot see, and I don't think you can see, as the games are being played this week, what your point totals are unless you're in a bracket. And my fantasy league didn't let me set it up because we have so many teams in the playoffs. It wouldn't let me set it up to make it look like all 32 teams had a bye since we're technically not facing each other. So now what this means is, let's say that Mick Taylor of Wolf Creek and Wolf Predator, this is set up this way so that you can go into your live scoring and still be able to watch the live scoring as it happens when football is being played. But let's say Wolf Predator beats Mick Taylor. That doesn't mean that Mick Taylor's out of the playoffs, because remember, it's all based on who has scored the most points in week 14 out of all of the teams seeded number 3 through 32. So all of the teams in the playoffs except the top 2 seeds. And we already know that our top 2 seed players or teams know that they're automatically advancing. So I'm not even really talking to them. Like whenever they have, let's see, like whenever Pennywise pops in here and he sees that he's in here, he knows he's advanced. So even if Teen Wolf beats him this week, it doesn't matter. Pennywise is still going to be the number 1 seed in the second round. Now, just if Pennywise beats Teen Wolf, that doesn't mean he's out. Because remember, if Teen Wolf outscores, so in other words, the head to head doesn't matter at all on this bracket or the one that says main playoffs first round seeds 17 through 32. The head-to-head part doesn't matter. All that matters is your points for, and you want to pay attention to both of the brackets or all of the teams that are in both of the brackets anyway, and you need your score to be higher than at least it would be 24 other teams in these brackets. Actually, technically, yeah, 24, because whether you're higher or lower than the 1 and 2 seed, that doesn't matter at all because their points don't matter. They're not fighting with you. You're not fighting with them. So no matter what Swamp Gators points and Pennywise points are, none of that matters. You're going to pay attention to all the other teams, and you need to outscore at least 24 of them. Okay, um, so again, just to kind of throw it out there. So like if Von Murders and Strad Von Zarevich, if one of them wins, they could both still get kicked out of the tournament because both of them scored less than the top 6 of all the teams that matter in this round. Or just because one wins and one loses, they could both advance to the next round because it's not about the win-loss. Once we get these 6 teams, I'm going to be deleting these 2 brackets off of the site. I'm going to be taking this main playoff first round only seeds 1 through 16, and also taking off this one that says main playoff first round only seeds 17 through 32. It says first round only for a reason. I had to set it up like a bracket just to make it so that you guys could view your scores as they're going and view all the other people's scores as well. So after we get those 6 to go along with the top 2 seeds, and we find out what other teams the top seeds choose to play against, I will put that up here in the main 8-team bracket, and I'll delete those other 2 brackets, so they won't even be viewable on here. All right. So now I'm going to go back down to the Patreon. Oh, wait, first, let me tell you what you guys are playing for, because I have all the prizes listed down too. This isn't something that we had discussed on any of the other shows. The main Frank, obviously, we have talked about those prizes, and those are in the bylaws. I'm going to give you guys the prizes of all the other tournaments as well when I get to those tournaments. But for the main Frank prizes, for one, you get a $750 donation to the charity of your choice. If you win the main Frankenstein tournament, $750 is a big chunk of money, and that's a very generous donation that you're going to be able to make in your name. We'll probably make the donation for you in your name, but we always show the receipts. And include you in any emails when we do the donation if it asks for emails and stuff. So just so you know, we're gonna include you, so that you know we're actually making the donation. That's a $750 donation to a charity of your choice, because this is a listeners league, and it's all about doing good things and building a good community, and we want you to know that your charities matter to us. The winner will also get $400 cash money, homie. $400 in your pocket. Actually, virtual dollars that are going to be sent to you through PayPal probably, or through LeagueSafe, but whatever. You get $400. You also get to permanently name a division for future Frank leagues. We're not going to check. So like last season, Iceman, our guy Chris from Playing with House Money won the Frankenstein, and he named the division up here the Brasco of Bagul, the Brasco of Bagul, and that's always going to be a division. So you're going to get to name a division that will stay forever, preferably something that's toilet humor related, because we're all middle schoolers around here. Also, the winner of Frankenstein is going to get one of those nice bobblehead dolls that Iceman showed on last night's Tuesday Night Flagship episode. And then also future guest appearances, if you choose to. You don't have to, but Graboid won the championship once, and he came on a few times to talk about it. Iceman has won; he's come on a few times. So whoever wins, you'll always have the opportunity to come on in the future to talk about your glory days from back when you won the Frank. And as we're growing, that could become a bigger and bigger self-promotion opportunity for you as well. All right, so the Patreon consolation tournament, guys. There's a reason that many of you didn't hear about this until yesterday. Well, none of you had heard about it until yesterday, and that's because Coach and I just came up with this yesterday, and it was insane, absolutely insane how it all came about. But essentially, what we did was we took all of the Patreon members that did not make it into the main Frankenstank tournament, and we put them all into this consolation bracket. Now, one thing, in case you didn't watch last night's episode, this is the only tournament because this is Frankenstein, right? So we got to spice it up a little bit. We got to make things different and fun and exciting. And also, we're building a brand and we're trying to help raise money for future giveaways, some awesome big giveaways that we have planned that we want to be able to do. But also, we need to build our Patreon support, right? And then this is a listeners league, and we want to reward our Patreons that are helping to support us the most when and if we can. And since this is just a fun, throw it all together consolation tournament, we wanted to throw out there the opportunity for you to literally be able to buy a bye week. All right, now here's how this works. You guys have until noon tomorrow. So that means about 18 hours, 17 hours by the time I post this. To if you want to bump up your Patreon level. As of right now, the top seeds here that you see, Vlad the Impaler, he's the only Patreon member that we have that's at the top tier Patreon support level that did not already make the main playoff, so he gets the number one seed. That's why he has a bye. The next tier, we had four guys in that next tier. I believe those were Sean McDonald, Freddie Krueger, Steve Varner, Red Rum, the Pinheads, Jerry Bagshaw, and the Fantasy Slashers, uh, and they are all that next tier, second tier, the $10 level. So they all get the next buy, and I based that off of their win loss record, and then I think they all actually had the same win loss record too, which was crazy, and then points for after that. So, but they all got first dibs at that buy because of where they're at on their Patreon level. And then the next level down, we only had one at that level, and that was Coach Fry, Frankencastle. So he gets the sixth seed, or that sixth seed, which is the last bye week. There's only 6 teams that get a bye in the Patreon tournament. So if somebody below Coach Fry steps up with a higher tier, then they're going to get bumped up to a bye, and Coach Fry will get knocked down. If one of those guys that are already in that second tier bump up to the top tier, the $20 tier, to match Justin, then they'll get a better bye week, which that's entirely up to you if you want a better buy position. But like I said, it's just an opportunity for you to get in on this. Now, one thing I will say is now that I've set the bracket, it's going to be extremely difficult and time consuming for me to go back and I can adjust the current seeds like to make it it's already a 20 I believe it's a 26 team bracket, but anybody that's not already a Patreon at this point, if you tried to sign up and become a Patreon, I don't think I could put you into this bracket without totally redoing it. And I just don't think I'm going to have the time to be able to do that between work and before kickoff tomorrow. So you won't get into it, but I can adjust the seeds. It's easy to go in and change the seeds. So if somebody bumps up their Patreon level, it's easy to advance you from there. But anyhow, on this tournament bracket, this is the bracket. This is your bracket. It's going to stay in here. And like Mike Wazowski and Zombie Redneck Torture Family, the winner of this game is going to go on and face Vlad the Impaler, who's going to go on and face the winner of this side of the bracket. Just like every other tournament bracket, this one is normal and fine because we didn't have an all-out a pool of players going against each other like we do in the main tournament. The Patreon consolation bracket winner will receive a $100 Amazon gift card. So that's huge. And when we give out these gift cards, we're giving out gift cards for people that are affiliates of ours on the website. So, and actually, since I have the opportunity here, I want to show you guys something. Let's see. When you pull up our website, you can see right here, like right there at the very, it looks like an ad. Okay. That looks like an ad. Okay. But what it is it's one of our affiliates. If I click on it, it goes to homage, and that's their store. Okay. I can click through here. I can buy one of these Christmas t-shirts. I can buy NFL related t-shirts. I'll click on that and it'll take me where I can buy a Colts t-shirt, and I can they make these t-shirts and sweatshirts and hoodies. So and it's not just Colts, obviously, it's all different sports like that. Look at that. That's pretty cool with the black helmet. And let's say I wanted to purchase this. It says um let's see, $36. Okay, so let's say I want to buy this 30 for $36. Well, then we're going to get a percentage kickback of every single item that you purchase after you've clicked through that link. So I'm sure you guys already know how website affiliates work like that, but I just wanted to make sure that I let you all know that we have several affiliates like that on the website. So in this case, if we're given a $100 Amazon gift card, it's because we have a web-based affiliation with Amazon. So you can go into, you just keep scrolling until you find that Amazon link, the Amazon Prime link. You'll click on it and then spend your $100 in there for Christmas, because you got a lot of Christmas to buy for people. And if you don't, you got a lot of Christmas to buy for yourself if we gave you a $100 gift card. Um, the winner of the consolation tournament, the Patreon consolation tournament, will also receive a Frankenstein t-shirt. It's going to be a size large because that's all we have in stock still. So if it doesn't fit you, hopefully it fits a family member that's willing to wear it and share it. So, but you'll also get, obviously, the Patreon bragging rights for forever, really. I mean, I plan on doing this. I think we plan on doing this every single year moving forward, but you're going to be the first one to win the Patreon tournament. So that's nice. You'll also get a free entry into next year's Frankenstein. Most of you, since you're Patreons, most of you are already at that $10 level or higher, where you're going to get, well, not most of you, a lot of you are at the $10 level or higher, where you already get a free entry into Frank next year. But if you're not, if you're one of our lower tier Patreon supporters, and you don't automatically get a free entry, you will if you win this tournament. So that's nice. All right. So next, I need to show the next bracket is going to be the Sinkers division, or the Sinkers consolation tournament. So the Sinkers, those are, like I said on last night's show, those are the big turds, right? Those are the ones that are so heavy that they can't float. Those turds just kind of sunk to the bottom. Bear with me, toilets idols, toilet humor. that's what we do here. All right, so you guys are the teams that won 3 games or less this season. There was only 10 of you, and everybody won at least 1 game. So that was, adorable. But anyhow. 3 games or less wins, 3 wins or less, I should say, and you're in this tournament. So this consolation tournament, again, it's set up just like an actual tournament. There's only 4 teams that have a play in here, and everybody else, the other 6 teams, get a bye. So Bio Raptors will face the Australian Drop Bears. The winner gets to go on to face the 2 seed, which is Nail in the Coffin. And then the Buckner family faces Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Heisman. Winner of that goes on to face the 1 seed, the Kelpies, and you guys play from there. So very standard, normal tournament, and nothing else changes or is weird about this one. So if you win, you go on to become the king of the crap, and that's king or queen of the crap, because I did notice that we have at least 2 females in here. So I'll make sure I fix that. Make a note, king or queen, so I don't forget. And then we have the winner of this tournament, the Sinkers Consolation Tournament. You're going to get a free lanyard. Coach has free lanyards. I didn't offer that to the Patreon consolation winner, because if you're a Patreon, you already have a lanyard. So with this one, if you win, you're going to get a lanyard, and I don't have my keys on me to show you, but they're pretty cool. And then you're going to get one of the large Frankenstein t-shirts that we have in stock. You're also going to get 5 months of Patreon for free at the $5 level. Now, here's why this is important. Guys, you're in this tournament for two reasons. For one, you're not already a Patreon member, so maybe it'd be nice to be able to see what it's like for 5 months and see what you think. You're going to get us during the off season, so you as Patreon supporters with other shows and other networks will probably not get a whole lot in the off season, but not with us. We have things planned for you all off season. The off season is just extra regular season for us. Most of our guys work more in the off season than they do in the regular season. But you're going to get 5 months for free of the Patreon level at the $5 level. Now, unfortunately, you have to still log in and set up an account and put in your credit card number, and you have to pay the $5. But on my end, when I see that, I'll be able to reimburse you that $5 every month for that first 5 months. Then after that, if you want to stay with us, it's up to you. But at the very least, you get that 5 months for free to see what it's like. Also, if you win this Sinkers division, we're going to send you a $25 Fanatics gift card. Again, Fanatics is one of those affiliates on that site. You're also going to win a free entry into Frankenstein next season if you haven't already won from all the other many multitude of ways that we offer you a chance to win. And then I'm also going to send you a free deck of our monster cards. These monster cards are it's just the monsters from Frank, only a breakdown of what each card or what a breakdown of what each monster does. We were selling those for $15 a piece, but the winner of this Sinkers consolation tournament will get a deck of the monster cards for free. So that's what you can win if you're one of these 10 teams and you go on to win this tournament. The last tournament is the floaters division, the floaters consolation tournament. So these are this is the crap that was up at the top. You guys rise to the top of the crap, but you weren't quite good enough to stay out of the toilet and be in the actual title game. So you're in the floaters consolation. You're floating along the top. One more thing that I should probably say, and I already forgot what it was. The thought was crossing my mind and it just slipped right through. Oh, illegal lineups. There's no such thing as illegal lineups anymore unless you start more than 10 players. So like if you start fewer than the 10 players, I mean, in these constellation tournaments, the whole purpose of the illegal lineup thing is so that people can't hide too many of their players so that they won't get stolen when they get beat. It kind of forces you to have to sometimes still play at least enough players that your opponent will have somebody to choose from to steal. So that's why we have an illegal lineup rule and penalty like we do. But in these consolation tournaments and even in the main tournament, there's no longer a penalty for illegal lineups. You're screwing yourself if you're not getting your points. So that's just the way it is. So no more illegal lineups, but and I have to say that because these consolation tournaments, sometimes people bail out, and I don't want you to just think you got an automatic win just because somebody didn't start a tight end. I will still be adding the points for the heroes because we told you guys that those are all season long, including the playoffs. So I'll be adding those points. And then monster cards are gone. Even the Freddy cards, they're all void. There is no more monster cards in the playoffs, even in the consolation tournaments. All right, floaters consolation tournament. Floaters works the same way as the sinkers. It's all in here. It's just an actual tournament, nothing strange or weird. I'm not going to delete anything from this. There's several teams that have a first round bye. I believe there were 4 teams that had a first round bye. There are 28 teams in this bracket. These 4 teams are the 4 teams that were only 1 win away from making it into the main playoffs or a certain amount of points for making it in, but they were close. They were right there on the bubble, and that is the Kraken, who got the 1 seed. The 2 seed was Shane P. Hallam. The 3 seed was Team Cujo, and then the 4 seed was Nahul. That's Carlos Humda. They all have the top 4 seeds, so they all have a bye in week 14. Everybody else is playing to try to beat them. And the winner of this bracket, the winner of the floaters bracket, you're going to get the lanyard because, again, you're not a Patreon, so you may not already have a lanyard. You're going to get the free large T-shirt. you're going to get 3 months of Patreon at the $10 level. Okay, so where the last one was 5 months at the $5, we're going to bump up your level to $10, but you only get 3 months. That's still $5 more on the value. So again, you're going to get to see what it is like at the for the Patreon at the $10 level, and you're going to put in your credit card information and all that, and I'll just reimburse that 10 at each month. And then at the end of the 3 months, if you don't want to continue, you can just cancel the subscription. But it's a chance for you to see what we offer here. Um, You'll also get into the Frankenstein for free next year if you don't already have a free way of getting in from one of our other ways. Let's see. You'll also get a deck of the monster cards. We're going to give you a $40 Fanatics gift card, and also this is a big one. If you win this tournament, then next year for your Frankenstein draft, you're going to get to choose what your draft position is next year, regardless of what the rock, paper, scissors contest says. So if somebody else in your division wins rock, paper, scissors, we're going to find out from you what draft position you want first. And then the winner of that rock, paper, scissors contest will get to determine the rest of the division's draft order. Okay, so by winning this constellation tournament, it's going to give you a slight edge on the competition in your division for next year's draft. So that's a pretty big one. And then, of course, the title for this one is you now become the Seminoles, the Florida State Seminoles. And it says right here, because we should have, and by we, I mean your team, you as your coach and your team, we should have made it to the big dance. Because, I mean, if the Seminoles go on to do really well, in their little consolation game, then maybe they have a reason to say, see, we did deserve, especially if Alabama falls flat on their face, which most of the football world is hoping will happen. But anyway, so that just wanted to throw out there, especially in the main draft, the main tournament, how that one works. And if you guys have any questions on this as we move forward from here, make sure to DM me. And yeah, it's still showing last week's on the live scoring. Usually by Wednesday night, it shows the zeros, but and your opponents for this upcoming week. So I don't know. Maybe it's different because it's the playoffs, but hopefully they get that part sorted out really soon, because even on the schedule, it doesn't show a week 14 or a playoff schedule, and I don't know how to check that because it doesn't say playoff up here anywhere. So I don't know. Hopefully the rest of that will clear up on its own, but just DM me if you have any questions, and we'll see what we can figure out from there. But thank you for your time, and good luck in the 2023 Frankenstein tournament.